Welcome to Dear TSPR show. This is Dr. Tangella Shiva Prasad Reddy alias Dr. TSPR. Namaste, Adab, hello and a warm welcome to Ravichandran Swaminathan ji. Many are envying our shows because they can't digest facts that 2 years back itself we have reported dollar decline. What is happening now? But still, many US citizens, with due respects to some good friends, they don't want to discuss this subject. Subsequently, how India was being included, wherein the currency backed by gold is going to become a reality. हमने बताया 2 साल के नीचे ही किस तरह डॉलर की पतन हो रहा है और उसका असर क्या होगा, और सोने का जो संबंध है, सोने के साथ संबंध ही एक ऐसी करेंसी आएगी जो दुनिया को शासित करेगा। 2 साल से हम जब ये बता रहे तो लोग मजाक कर रहे थे, तो आज भी कुछ ऐसे हमारे मित्र हैं, वो फिर भी मानना चाहते हैं, फिर भी नहीं मानना चाहते। तो ये श्रेय जो है, क्यों बोल रहा हूं कि रविचंद्रन स्वामीनाथन जी को जाता है, क्योंकि आज का मुद्दा भी उसी के ऊपर है। 2 साल के नीचे उन्होंने क्या कुछ बताया, ईरान केंद्रित, चाइना केंद्रित, रशिया केंद्रित, भारत केंद्रित और अमेरिका केंद्रित। जब अमेरिका कहते हैं तो वेस्ट बैंक में इजराइल भी उसके अंदर आ जाता है, साथ में उनके यूरोप, ऑस्ट्रेलिया ऐसे बड़े शासित। सो ऑल दोस कंट्रीज, व्हेन वी से अमेरिका, Israel will come, Europe and Australia, all part of it. When we said the currency, different currency is going to rule, and India has to decide either this side or that side. Russia and China were having gold-backed currency, and how good you are at dealing with China, that has been revealed. The budget exposed India totally. People still don't want to believe. But now you have to believe, because the world is teetering at the edge of a Middle East big war, and US economy crashing, and rupee, Indian rupee is at an all-time low. बजट के बाद हम स्ट्रांग है बोल रहे थे हमारे सीतारामन जी, जब डॉलर की पतन हो रहा है, एटलीस्ट रुपया का तो ऊपर जाना चाहिए। जगह हम आर्थिक बल हमारे देश में अगर है, क्यों रुपया का पतन हो रहा है, ये सोचने वाली बात। और जिस तरह शेयर मार्केट जो है, अमेरिका की शेयर मार्केट, वॉल स्ट्रीट हो, और निकी जो जापान की कहते हैं, वो किस तरह खत्म हो गए आज 2 दिन में, कितनी पतन। भारत का शेयर मार्केट भी उसी तरह का पतन, और बजट में आम आदमी को टैक्स किया गया जिस तरह, ये शेयर्स का भी आज। पहले एक बात फॉरवर्ड, आई विल टेक ए फॉरवर्ड फ्रॉम रविचंद्रन स्वामीनाथन जी, एंड व्हाट इज हैपनिंग इन द नेबर बांग्लादेश। शेख हसीना रिजाइंस एंड शी फ्लीज टू अगेन इंडिया, अगरतला। वी डोंट नो, पीपल आर मेकिंग फन। Sunak, British PM, was in association with Modi. They say he has gone. Trump, he has gone. Now latest Sheikh Hasina ji, she has gone. Now we are not here to play all those videos which people have been sending, because we don't have any sarcastic mode. It's a serious issue now. Sir, please, your forward, so that before I'll try to show what is happening.
Today is an eventful day, Dr. Reddy. I will take you back to when the Russian-Ukraine war started, at the instigation of America. And America slapped sanctions on Russia for oil. Then they seized the American assets lying in Europe and America. But Europe also blindly followed America, and at that time, I very specifically said that at the end of the day, it is America which is going to be hurt, and hurt very badly, because of higher rates of inflation, because of the economic problems that it is creating throughout the world. It will be affecting America itself. Today, we are seeing that happening. The problem with America, recession in America today, which is said to be one of the chief causes for the collapse of the stock market in Japan and in India also today, Both the Nikkei index as well as the Sensex have crashed by almost about 3% now. The issue is the mistakes that America made in Europe. That is coming home to roost now. America is facing a recession, inflation, and above all, they have a president who is just a president by name. I don't think he is mentally stable or competent to deal with the issues that have started today. To be very honest, I am looking at a possibility. I don't know how remote it is or how possible it is, but I am looking at a possibility that President Biden may be replaced by Kamala Harris, citing medical reasons. I will not be surprised if that happens.
Oh, it's a great breaking news from DRTSPR channels. Again, as he's predicting, everything is happening. The world at the edge, tottering at the edge. Now he says Kamala Harris may take over because of the changes which have been happening, serious economic changes, recession in America. That is a big news. And before we go, how the Israel-Iran war, Middle East region is going to affect and its complications. And already we have seen the job quota, how youth in Bangladesh they have thrown Sheikh Hasina out, and fortunately or unfortunately, she has landed in India. They were fighting against the reservation policy. Bangladesh, the neighboring country, is unstable. And now Pakistan will jump into support to Iran. And at the same time, they will try to, as pointed out by Ravichandran Swaminathan, he will explain Balochistan angle and how these things are going to ruin India furthermore. I'll just show you some, as usual, before we go back to our guest. So he has already started with big issue. So this is what is an economic recession. The National Bureau of Economic Research defines a recession as a period of significant decline in economic activity that is spread across the economy, various fields. Each recession could last a few months or a few years, but typically spans about 17 months on average. A recession is usually characterized by job losses, increased rates of unemployment, reduced household expenditures, and poor or negative growth in the nation's gross domestic product. So again, I say, a recession is usually characterized by job losses, increased rates of unemployment, reduced household expenditures, and poor or negative growth in the nation's gross domestic product. The basic middle classes are all, they will lose the power of spending because the income is going to affect. Your comments, sir. Is this the reason why Bangladesh and America and then India also are suffering now?
Yeah. See, Bangladesh is a separate issue. Bangladesh issue was created by American interests like George Soros and other CIA. These people did not want, they were actually, in this case, in the case of Bangladesh, both China and America have played their part in destabilizing the country. Basically, what America was looking at was they were trying to create a Christian-dominated independent state comprising of areas from Burma, India, and Bangladesh. That is why we had the problem at Manipur. That is why Bangladesh reservation policy started in Bangladesh. That is why there was a problem in Burma also. Chinese influence in Burma is very high at the moment. And added to that, Sheikh Hasina Begum had awarded the Teesta project to India over China. And China was not happy with that, so they have also played their part. The unrest in Bangladesh started because of a Supreme Court judgment in Bangladesh, where they denied reservations to those who were freedom fighters during the Bangladesh war. So the students agitated against it, and today the most pitiable thing that I saw today on Twitter was Bangladeshi people breaking down Mujibur Rahman's statue.
Yeah, that's what. Occupying parliament.
That is a very pitiable state of affair, because Mujibur Rahman gave his life for Bangladesh.
They don't
And
understand
these
these
people
days, youth.
were breaking the statue, and today is 50 years since Mujibur Rahman was murdered in Bangladesh.
Yeah.
The 50th anniversary of that date. And it is an unfortunate thing that Sheikh Hasina Begum had also fly away. Again, she has come to India. The latest news says that she will go from India to London. But in any case, this is a problem with America, with Pakistan, with China. They have been playing with Bangladesh. And in Bangladesh, Jamaat-e-Islami, a radical Islamic party, is behind all this. And like in India, working against Indian national interest, those people have worked against Bangladesh national interests. It is going to hurt Bangladesh very badly, and at some point it is going to hurt India also. We must remember that there are 1.3 million Hindus still in Bangladesh. Their life is now at jeopardy. Their life is at a very great risk now. I won't be surprised if all those people start coming into India, and we are going to have a refugee problem of a similar lines like we had in 1971.
See, we are showing.
And if Mamata Banerjee wants to take them into Bengal, I can assure Mamata Banerjee that if all these people come into West Bengal, there won't be place to stand for the local people. She does not know what she is talking about.
She does not know Mamata Banerjee. Why should you invite? It has to be understood. See, when they are breaking the statue of Mujibur Rahman, who has created Bangladesh, what is that they are going to do once they enter India and Kolkata, West Bengal? Mamata Banerjee ji, you have to be very clear. Because who is behind them? What their own creator, they have statues they are destroying. What is that they need? And why should you allow? And what about the fate of Hindus? Hindus, minority Hindus. You talk about minorities in English, in India, minorities in West Bengal, but what about the minority Hindus in Bangladesh? All India political India Gadbandhan, including Mamata Banerjee, the West Bengal Chief Minister. So this is one aspect, and the other aspect.
This is as far as Bangladesh is concerned.
Yeah, that is as far as Bangladesh is concerned. Now you see, come back to India. India rupee drops to its lowest value in history against the US dollar. When US dollar is declining, when the recession is happening in US, in the face of Middle East, Iran, Hezbollah, Lebanon may attack Israel. When that recession is happening, when dollar is very vulnerable, how is that India's rupee totters? That beats my intelligence, sir, Ravichandran ji.
No, this is a problem is, I'll tell you. One thing is, Lebanon's Hezbollah has already attacked Israel. Now it is just a matter of time before Israel retaliates or Iran attacks Israel. It is a matter of hours. I am looking at 24 to 48 hours window. In this period of time, either Iran will attack Israel or Israel will do a preemptive strike against Iran. Already, Russia has supplied a lot of arms to Iran. Pakistan is also supplying their a lot of missiles to Iran, and Iran has mustered all its troops also to make an attack on Iran. To make an attack on Israel. At the same time, Israel is now looking at the possibilities or the options of doing a preemptive attack on Iran. We don't know who is going to fire first. It is a brinkmanship. It is a brinkmanship game which these people are playing, and that brinkmanship will land the entire world into problems. It is not going to be restricted to just the Middle East. Today, Ukraine has made an attack on Russia which has failed. It has hit some residential places, but Russia will retaliate for that also. Now, the problem is America has meddled in too many places at the same time. Ukraine, Israel, South China Sea, Taiwan. And the problem is their president, it is, nobody knows whether the president is able to take any decision by himself, because he is totally lost. He does not know whether he is coming or going. He does not know what he is talking about. And in that situation, it is a very, very dangerous place to be with a commander-in-chief like this. We don't know whether he is taking decisions or somebody else is taking decisions. It is it is a very long time since we had such a thing. Now, recession, I should remind your viewers, 1930, the Great Depression. That also started in the same manner like this, and it destroyed the American economy for almost about 3-4 years. America was not able to get out of that. I'm talking about the depression in 1930s. A similar situation, this is what I predicted when the Ukraine-Russian war started. I told them that America will end up in a recession because of inflation, because of increased cost, because of their stupidity in slapping sanctions against Russia, and because they unnecessarily increase the cost of this thing in Europe. And added to all this, there has been a huge immigrant inflow into Europe from Middle East. Now these people are trying to take over the governments in UK, Netherlands, Belgium, and all those places in Europe. A lot of places in Europe. Even in France, they are facing this problem of the immigrant Muslim population trying to take over the country itself. Unrestricted immigration has caused a lot of problems, and now US will also face a similar problem. We don't know how it is going to end or how these people are going to tackle the issue. As far as Indian rupee is concerned, because of the threat of recession in America, because of the threat of war in the Middle East, and because of issues in South China Sea, a lot of FDI, foreign investors in the stock market, they have been selling shares. Close to about 3,500 crores worth of shares has been sold by FDI. Luckily, Indian mutual funds and share players, they have stepped in and purchased a lot of shares. That is why the fall is limited to just 3%. Otherwise, it would have gone even beyond all that.
So beyond all that. And also I'm trying to,
a very dangerous situation
this is now. Again, this is arms industry. They are to divert the attention of local political issues in each country. These warmongerings, as we have pointed out during Russia and Ukraine, how they will try to take advantage of their own natural resources like oil and all, create their own currency when US tried to infiltrate the Russian economy by going for sanctions. So I'll just show you some videos as usual. Okay.
اگر رئیس جمهور نماینده و صدای مردمه که میگفتن صدای مردم خواهد بود.
I think it has not been converted into normal language, so I don't want to go into that. I'll show you some local vernacular. Telugu also for a change.
అమెరికాలో మాంద్యం భయంతో ఆసియా స్టాక్ మార్కెట్లు కుప్పకూలాయి. దేశీయ స్టాక్ మార్కెట్లు సైతం నష్టాల్లో కొనసాగుతున్నాయి. సెన్సెక్స్ 2700 పాయింట్లకు పైగా నష్టంలో కొనసాగుతోంది. ఇక నిఫ్టీ 600 పాయింట్లకు పైగా లాస్ లో ట్రేడ్ అవుతోంది. టోక్యో మార్కెట్ 10%, దక్షిణ కొరియా, తైవాన్ మార్కెట్లు 8% నష్టాల్లో కొనసాగుతున్నాయి. అధిక ద్రవ్యోల్బణం, పశ్చిమ ఆసియా ఘర్షణలు, వాణిజ్య ఉద్రిక్తలతో ఆర్థిక మాంద్యం భయాలతో ఇండెక్స్లు నష్టాల్లో ట్రేడ్ అవుతున్నాయి. ప్రపంచ ఈక్విటీ మార్కెట్ల కన్సాలిడేషన్, అధిక వాల్యుయేషన్ల కారణంగా స్టాక్ ఇండెక్స్ లాస్ లో ఉన్నాయి.
Sir, basically because we know the unwinding of yen in Japan and some tensions in Middle East. So what are the major reasons apart from these two which is affecting the global market, including Indian markets?
See, the immediate trigger is the Bank of Japan raising rates on Wednesday. What happens is there is something called a carry trade, where people and investors borrow money in yen and they invest in currencies and in markets across the world. Now, yen has strengthened more than 10% in the last 15 days, and that is causing a lot of unwinding of this carry trade across the world. That is the first trigger. Wednesday, the Bank of Japan raised the rates, and that caused it. Second is the weak data points from the US. Their unemployment numbers are increasing. The job creation numbers are going down. Overall economy is getting softer. So the expectation is that the Fed might have overextended its restrictive policy, and now US might be set for a recession in the next 12 months. So that is the second trigger. So largely Japan raised rate hike and unwinding of carry trade. And
that also I'll show Nikki what happens when you raise such type of things. This also let us.
The world is watching the Middle East as Israel prepares for a possible attack from Iran. As early as tomorrow, a top U.S. general arrived in Israel this weekend. More U.S. warships and fighter jets are on the way. CBS's Deborah Patta is in Jerusalem tonight with more on that part of the story. Deborah, good evening.
Good evening. As the aftershocks of the assassination of Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh reverberate throughout the region, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is facing a fight on several fronts. Another blow against peace. Israeli police clash with protesters in Tel Aviv, where not even the threat of an Iranian attack could keep them off the streets. They accuse their prime minister of choosing escalation over a hostage deal. But Netanyahu remains defiant and says former Israeli diplomat Alon Pincus increasingly at odds with the US.
He's gone completely rogue, meaning untethered from reality, intent on igniting a regional war, defying the military, defying President Biden.
Pincus believes the assassination of Ismail Haniyeh may have been justified, but it was not smart.
The location in Tehran was meant deliberately to elicit provocation and escalation.
They killed Fuad Shakur in a targeted strike, Mohammed Deif, Ismail Haniyeh. Why go after Gaza?
If you can pinpoint a precise attack 2,000 kilometers away, then why bother decimating entire neighborhoods? That's me telling you that assassinations are morally and ethically okay, but dropping those bombs on Gaza are not.
Still, those bombs keep falling. Israeli forces hit a hospital in the middle of the night, and today a school sheltering families displaced repeatedly by war. My brother was covered in blood, said this teenager as she relived the trauma. Lives blown apart, neighborhoods already reduced to rubble, pulverized once again. And tonight, as this country remains on high alert, Eureka, Netanyahu has...
Yeah, when they have precision to kill 1,000 kilometers away, why should they bomb Gaza daily? This is the big question, Ravichandran ji. Those who are perpetrated were killing them. But why Gaza? You want to experiment arms? I don't know. I want your...
Dr. Reddy, see, the problem is, see, this is a playing victim attitude. Yes, Israel has got the precision to can hit a target with precision 2,000 kilometers away. That is what they are doing in Gaza also. Hospitals and schools are used by the Hamas to manufacture, to shelter terrorists, to manufacture arms and ammunition, and to place their rockets there.
Okay.
So that is why they are being targeted. These people are using their own people as shields. And when Israel attacks, yes, civilians die. And when civilians die, immediately Hamas turns around and says that Israel is killing civilians. This is an issue. Now, this is an issue in every war.
Yes.
So why single out? Today, when Russia is hitting Ukraine, civilians in Ukraine are dying. Today, Ukraine has hit Russia, it has hit residential flats, and Russian citizens have died.
Yeah.
So,
But the same Russia is supporting Iran now.
correct. They are supporting Iran.
That's
Again,
what.
the issue is only this, because Iran supported Russia when it was required. That is why Russia has to support Iran now when it is required.
Now, what Israel
The
says
problem is
now,
not
I'm
Russia. The
trying to
problem
show
is
you.
not Russia.
Right.
The problem is not Russia. The problem is not Iran. The problem is America. The problem is the American arms industry, because the arms industry is running Russia, America right now.
Arms industry
That is the problem.
got a big exposure from Ravichandran Swaminathan ji. It is neither agriculture, nor food, nor something related to environment where you can have a secured present and a safeguarded future for your kith and kin. But it is the arms industry which is ruling the roost, funding all the political parties across the globe, making convenient so that issues remain unsettled. There is no dialogue. Daily war, use these arms for destruction. So Israel has not escalated, it has merely retaliated. One line I will see. The White House has strongly implied that Israeli retaliatory attacks on Iran and its proxies are escalating the conflict in the Middle East. But that is not what they are. They are reactions to escalations. In other words, Biden-Harris administration's global escalation paralysis is being projected unfairly upon Israel's offensive actions to defend themselves. Israel is the victim, not the perpetrator, as Ravichandran Swaminathan has been pointing out. And not even Iran, and for that matter, not even Palestine. That is the arms industry in America. The invasion of Gaza was the result of October 7th Hamas terrorist attack on Israel. The airstrike on Iran was a response to the April 13 missile drone attack on Israel. The airstrike on the port of Hodeidah, Yemen, was in response to a Houthi drone strike in Tel Aviv on July 19th. None of these was escalatory. The Israeli actions were and are, militarily speaking, defensive in nature and execution. The Israeli airstrikes against Hamas, which eliminated Ismail Haniyeh and Mohammad Daif, and the strikes Hezbollah senior commanders Fouad Shukr and Ali Nazid Abed Ali were responses to the missile attack that killed 12 Druze children on a soccer field in the Golan Heights. The same goes for Israeli strikes on Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps leadership in Tehran, Gaza, southern Lebanon, and Beirut, including Milad Bidi. Israel has reportedly demonstrated it has intelligence and operational reach to hold Iran and its proxies accountable despite ongoing reluctance in the Biden White House. So Netanyahu has vowed to keep fighting, but there are protests. I have shown you in Israel too.
Yes, there are protests in Israel. But these protests, like I said, the man behind all these protests is George Soros. He is the man who is creating a lot of problems everywhere in the world so that he can make money. So at the end of the day, it is only the arms industry in conjunction with the CIA, in conjunction with George Soros, who are creating problems everywhere in the world so that they can make money.
Now here, yes, sir.
And this is why I said today we are almost teetering at the brink, both economically. For your information, America has the total debt of America has gone up to somewhere around $37 trillion. It was $32 trillion 2 years back. This is what I had said, that the Ukraine-Russian war will create a huge debt for America, and which they will not be able to service.
Yeah.
Separate Israeli air.
Yeah, please go
We
ahead.
are
It's showing the
reaching
video.
that point.
Yeah. So it is going to create
We
a
are
debt,
reaching
and,
that point.
and we have seen even Microsoft outage and clouds. You clearly expose them also. Are they also the factors to divert the attention, if any? One shot, two birds. They are going to get money through arms, and at the same time, attention diversion. Let us listen to what Netanyahu has
end
to
the
say.
war in Gaza and release Israeli hostages.
האמת הפשוטה היא שעד לרגע זה,
He said Hamas has not agreed to the most basic terms of the outline, while Israel has not added a single demand to the outline. Netanyahu said Hamas is the one demanding to include tens of changes. Israel is bracing for a serious escalation following the assassination of Hamas's leader Ismail Haniyeh in Tehran on Wednesday. Netanyahu was due to convene special security discussions late on Sunday, a defense official said, following threats of retaliation from Iran and others, while U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken was talking to leaders in the Middle East.
Hello. Yeah. So what is your inference, sir? Now we are going to end, and I'll show one other.
The problem is first, America should get out of all these issues.
Okay.
First, let them get their house into order. First, let them conduct their elections in peace. Let them get a good president. The present president is a danger for not only America, it is a danger for the entire world, because he is under the control of the arms industry.
Right. So he is under the control of arms industry. What is this I'm trying to? I want to just show some others. Yeah. He is under the control of arms industry. Now, this is what Russia's massive weapons howl for Iran and the Israeli plan. How dangerous this is.
Everybody is supplying arms and saying, talking about peace. What is the point?
America helps Israel. Don't directly now, because Biden wants arms sales to go up. Now Russia sending arms to Iran. So that means,
and both of them saying talking peace.
No one is talking peace. That is why we say the world is tottering. Now this is the main reason. Now 15 lakh crore wiped off US recession fears. 5 other factors behind Sensex 2,600 point fall. As fears of a potential recession in the United States drove investors away from risky assets, Sensex closed Monday's session over 2,200 points lower, while Nifty slipped below 24,100 level due to selling in heavyweights. And
this is the reason why the rupee fell against the dollar, because FDIs closed their these things and were taking out the money.
Now Nikkei, this is what big issue, plunges 12.4% as US recession fears grip markets. Second day, Japan's for the first time, it is falling. Yes, sir.
Nikkei, because the yen rate has gone up 10%.
Because the
so there is a correction there also. But basically, everything is driven by the American economy.
Everything is driven by the American economy. Now we'll come back to how crude oil, now it is hovers at 8-month low as US recession fears offset Mid-East tensions. Your comments. So this is temporary. After that, it is going to go up.
It is going to go up. If there is an attack by Iran on Israel or Israel on Iran, then we are in for a very hard time now.
What would be the cascading effect?
Cascading effect is, again, as far as India is concerned, I think we will be in a better position because we are taking our oil from Russia at a discounted rates. We have got a separate, we have created a separate pipeline from Russia to America through, there is an alternate lines are available now. So as far as India is concerned, we will be in a slightly better off position compared to other countries. China will be affected. China may go into a recession because it is already into problems now. The problem will exacerbate for China. Actually, all this, what we are seeing today is also part of the economic warfare that is happening between China and America. We had mentioned this earlier also about de-dollarization and backing of currency by gold, introduction of digital currency and all those details. We had discussed it even earlier on your channel. We are seeing that coming into fruition now.
Yeah, wonderful. So what should India be doing?
India should keep quiet.
Wonderful.
India should keep quiet without offering advice to anybody, without offering any assistance to anybody, without telling anybody to this thing. One thing India can do is keep open eyes at its border with Pakistan and China, because we may expect some diversionary attack there also.
I don't want to now name, I don't want to play that ad. Papa ne war rukwa diya. What is that is he going to play a great role in asking Iran not to attack Israel, or Israel not to go for retaliatory attacks anymore, not to bomb Gaza? Will Modi do that? Papa,
no, Modi will not do that.
Rukwa diya.
No, he will not do that. He will not open his mouth.
So that is what he has been doing, but the advertisements we have seen during the elections in Ukraine.
No, that is right. That is right. But whatever elections is there, I think Modi will not open his mouth on those courts. It is better to keep your mouth shut and watch things as they unfold.
That is the advice from Ravichandran Swaminathan ji to both Rahul Gandhi and Mr. Prime Minister Modi, to keep mouth shut, not to indulge in any hooliganism, because the country and the country is at stake, because the world is tottering in the brink of Middle East war between Iran and Israel. Russia supporting Iran, America and Europe supporting Israel, as is happening in Ukraine, where Russia itself is trying to. So Russia is complicating the issues. We don't blame Russia, because that is how Russia is after the sanctions of America when they went for war with Ukraine. But India needs to stabilize its foreign policies because of the oil. That is why from so many years, India should have become self-sufficient with alternate modes of this thing. They are not investing much except blah, blah, blah. Again, you want to import the technologies at the cost of what we have shown. Microsoft outages. Still till today, Parliament is not discussing ISRO's boss, nor Parliament is discussing about coup, which was an alternative to Twitter. Both are boss and coup have been ignored. That's why we say, what is Indian Parliament is doing? The indigenous technologies. This is where China is strong. Am I right, sir? This is where.
Yeah, you are very right. You are very right.
But they are also in the name of robots and artificial intelligence. The employment rate is coming down there also. That crisis is happening. That is what recession means. Job losses. Families will not be able to spend. These are the main issues which has to be understood. Why? Because of more interest on lending rates, wherein people will not borrow, and it is going to help again only some capitalists who will dominate and who will try to usurp all the natural resources, as is being through artificial intelligence and robots now. If you protest, they are going to get robots, and through artificial intelligence, they are going to kill the spirit of employment. But that is not going to last long. Bangladesh is a traditional example. That is why we have added what will happen if the youth come out. But at the same time, there is a danger, hooliganism, when they destroyed Mujibur Rahman's statue, who was the creator of Bangladesh. Then what will happen to the world at large? And what will happen to India? How stable India will be when there is a cross-fighting going on in the parliament without understanding on the basic issues of Israel and Iran war. It is nothing but arms race support